before we get to the bad, I have a questionable bad. So we have sucked their dick for 3 weeks.
It's in culture now. It's called dick riding instead of
We
sucking.
have
We have
we
dick,
have been
yeah. We've been
we have
dick
been
riding.
He can't
okay.
say it.
We have been dick riders for this team for 3 weeks after they beat Oregon to sleep, after they beat Samford, after they beat South Carolina. We've been just all up on Kirby Smart's dick, just riding to our heart's content. Well, you kind of have to throw up a question mark after today, right? Like Kent State is Kent State. They're not even a good MAC team, and they hung with the Georgia Bulldogs, the number one team in the land, for 4 quarters. Probably not a sign of concern, but maybe, right?
See,
I mean, go ahead. Sorry.
I draw this comparison to how Clemson's defense did. Like, okay, is it a one-off? Is it like,
Yeah, no. Okay, Katie, that's fair. There's a big difference in giving up points to Sam Hartman and Kent State.
Yes, that's why I didn't say it's comparison, not the same thing.
Also, I can't even believe you brought this up. I don't care about this. They outgained them by 200 yards. They had 530 yards. They had 3 turnovers. There was never a doubt who was going to win this game. They won by 17 points.
Nobody ever said there was a doubt they were going to win the game. But for a team that beats Oregon 49-3, for a team that beats Sanford 33-0, for a team that beats South Carolina 48-7, they had shown zero vulnerability all year. They had shown zero weakness. And they showed a little bit today. They showed at least a little bit of rust. They showed a little bit of ability to not play at their best. That has to be something. We have to talk about that.
Ugly. Very ugly.
Yeah, they hadn't been ugly all year, Jack. I understand that they were never in danger. But if this game had been against Kentucky, maybe they would have been.
Yeah, but I guess it's just like, I'm with you. We have to talk about it. We're a college football podcast. But I think there's sometimes teams, like we were just talking about, do we hold Clemson to too high of a standard?
But Georgia forced us to hold them this high standard by the way they played the first 3 weeks. I mean, we did not have them in the upper echelon with Alabama, or at least I didn't, with Alabama and Ohio State at the beginning of the year, and they forced their way in that conversation by absolutely destroying teams for 3 weeks. And then they show up today and they sleepwalk, and they had not shown that in a while. It's just interesting to note. That's all.
All right. No, yeah. Yep. Let's write it down.
To me, it shows that they aren't, like, I think that going into this weekend, it was like, and Jack brought this up and it was a great point. It's like, we're almost discrediting Alabama because of how good Georgia has looked. It showed that they do have the capability to sleepwalk.
Yeah. And one more thing, Jack, you said they outgained this team by 200 yards. Well, goddamn, I hope so. I mean, they're the number one team in the country, and they were playing Kent State like that. That's the expectation. So I'm going to footnote it. And when we look at their season as a whole in 3 months, I'm going to say that one didn't matter at all. Or I'm going to say
I don't think it's going to matter whatsoever. But had they gone out and beaten Kent State by 45 points today, we would have said the exact same thing we've said for the last 3 weeks, which is like, well, Georgia comes out and beats the shit out of everybody, and they're the best team in the country, where at least there's a little bit of a pause. Do I still think they're the number one team in the country? Yes. But there is a little bit more of like, okay, they're not this, whatever, Brandon, what do you say? Like 800 pounds of gorilla.
800-pound gorilla with a chainsaw for a dick. Get it right. And listen, I still vote them number one with a bullet. No problem there. Just footnote. That's all.
It's also, it's not even a look ahead. They have Mizzou, Auburn, Vanderbilt coming up.
LSU's the greatest football team we've ever seen in college football, at least a top 5. They almost lost to a 7-5 Texas team, and they made John Reese Plumlee look like the greatest quarterback in the history of college football.
Jack, you're talking about Texas and Ole Miss. You're not talking about Kent State.
Well,
it's just a footnote, Jack. I'm not saying this is where the Georgia dynasty crumbles. I'm just saying I didn't think they had that in them.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.